I've just removed the back from the set. There it is. It's only retained by 4 screws. There's something odd about screws on the backs of sets holding the backs on, because it's very rare you ever find a complete set of them, and in this case always have a box to put bits in incidentally when you're working on a radio. For some reason there are only 3 of them. Now this is my first look in, and I have to say actually this set is a lot rougher than I had anticipated. It's been in some damp conditions. We can see that because the speaker frame of the loudspeaker is rusty. There's always in these sets a label gummed to the side of the cabinet showing the valve positions and things of that kind, and the fact that that's curling off the cabinet would indicate to me that it's been in damp conditions. And there's traces of rust on some of these other components too. It's very dirty, as you can see. Now, one thing you should never do with an old radio set is, when you get it, is plug it in. And I think if you look at the condition inside here, you can imagine that it's quite likely there's going to be something that needs attention here. And to apply mains onto ancient circuits of this kind that have probably been in, well, clearly have been in unkind conditions, is going to stress certain components to the degree where there will be electrical failures very quickly. Don't ever, however tempting it is, with an old set, even that looks in much better condition than this, don't be tempted just to plug it in and hope. Because even though it may seem to work for a little bit, there could be all sorts of unpleasantnesses going on that will eventually cause it to self-destruct by drawing too much current through key parts of the circuitry and putting the power supply sections in the receiver under stress, and that always ends in tears. What we'll do now is actually get this chassis out of the cabinet completely. In the old days, a service engineer would never remove the chassis unless it was absolutely unavoidable, and there, according to the instructions, I've not looked underneath, but it probably should be able to see it. Yes, there's a removable panel in the bottom of the cabinet to get to the underside of the chassis. So a commercial service engineer would always avoid taking chassis out of cabinets, but because we're working on what's a bit of a wreck, we will want to strip it down into its component parts as much as we possibly can, so that we can properly clean and inspect everything.